Mayor Lucas, what is your vision for 18th and Vine and this streetcar possibly being connected going east-west?
In terms of east-west connection, I think it's going to be vital to make sure this streetcar line, which is growing, and we've appreciated the north-south engagement, but includes more communities, more cultures, and more of us. And so I think that, what we need to do is, first of all, show the support for it. The next important step is going to be finding the money during the Trump administration. And so, I'm not going to pretend and say it's all a done deal tomorrow, but I think this is where we get the work started so that in the years ahead, we're able to build that out.
I'm going to put my optimistic hat on, and let's just say that all things go according to plan and we get yeses with this thing. What's a possible opening date that we could see construction starting with this thing?
People keep talking about a new baseball stadium wherever it would be, and I'm not going to speak to that, but it wouldn't be that far from 18th and Vine, no matter the sites that are rumored. I expect, let's say I would think you'd have that streetcar groundbreaking by about 2028. Probably try to have that line open by 2031 or 32.
Oh, that's possibly that's the same year as the Royals would move out of Kaufman and into a possible new stadium downtown or something. I don't know. I'm just speaking like what my vision is and what I see. Yes, that's all I'm saying.
The Kansas City Streetcar Authority, in partnership with the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority and the City of Kansas City, they're conducting a feasibility study to extend a streetcar east from Main Street to the 18th and Vine District. Now, this study will assess route options, transit demand, and it will facilitate public engagement to support future planning for the 18th and Vine District. So the official study area includes Wyandotte to Woodland and 17th to 20th. I think that expanding the streetcar is always a good idea to help spread the connectivity of Kansas City, to help the economics of Kansas City, to help the optics. It's an all-around win for everybody. You don't have to drive your car everywhere. We can move away from Kansas City being a place where you have to have a car from being a place where a car is optional. So I always think that expanding the streetcar is a great idea, always. And you see the current streetcar growth. It already favors invested corridors. It favors the economics of Westport, Plaza, downtown. It's like a main artery for money to flow into whatever district that you want to point to, whether that be Westport, Power and Light, whatever. Whenever you got a streetcar and you give people access to things, people are going to take advantage. Part of the bigger plan is to extend the streetcar to all of Kansas City, I think, after my very interesting conversation with Mayor Quentin Lucas. And not only to expand the streetcar to all of Kansas City, but also to create a stadium to where the streetcar can be used. Because that's where all this is going to, y'all. All of this planning, all of the streetcar talk that we've been hearing for the past, decade or so, it was made for people to go downtown and for the stadium. They knew that the Royals were eventually going to move from the K. And John Sherman, when he bought the team from the start, he said that he wanted to move that stadium downtown. So you add in the streetcar factor, you add in all the other businesses that are down there. It makes perfect sense for an extension of the streetcar to go east-west and not just north-south. You need other communities. You need everybody involved and not just one part of Kansas City. So it could bring more investments, opportunities, and growth for the east side. A part of town that really needs it, a part of town that continues to be neglected by those that are west of Truce, by some of those who are on the city council, by some of those who make decisions in the city. I think is needed, especially when you got leaders like Ollie Gates, of course, from Gates Barbecue, talking about a stadium. There are other city leaders talking about a stadium near 18th and Vine so that, you can build a bustling economy, so that you can extend the streetcar. It would make total and complete sense. I just feel like 18th and Vine, that whole area is just full of hidden gems. I was talking to people out in LA a couple weeks ago, and whenever I go out, I always got a Kansas City hat on 9 times out of 10. And people will tap in and try and ask about our city and what we have to offer other than the barbecue, of course. And when I tell people we got a jazz museum where Count Basie was at, where Charlie Parker came to, where these people congregated, all of these legends, like people's jaw drop. They are so excited to try and come to see Kansas City. Especially after I tell them about the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, because sometimes I'll wear a Negro Leagues hat and they'll ask where I got it from. Like in Kansas City, right here at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, that's right down the street. See, people don't have that luxury that we have here in Kansas. We got history right in our backyard, right here in our city. And I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate that. But I feel like more people could if we had a streetcar that could go east-west, that could showcase the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, that could give people access from out of town. Because you come from out of town, okay, yeah, it's Kansas City, and we know what it is, but a lot of people don't know where a lot of these things are. And I just think a streetcar going east-west over to the 18th and Vine area where we could showcase our museums and our hidden gems, they wouldn't be hidden gems anymore. They would be something that would deserve the exposure that it could get from having an east-west streetcar in Kansas City. But the bigger picture, though, all of this is for the stadium. The future stadium, that is, the future Royal Stadium that I think eventually will be downtown, whether we want to vote on it or not, which could be a whole other subject for a whole nother day because they're trying to squeeze this thing into Washington Square Park or in the East Village. And y'all know me, my thing has always been just put the Royals downtown. I don't care what part of downtown it is. Just go there. Not North Kansas City, even though I think that was a serious option at one point, and definitely not in Kansas. Definitely not in the Superior campus where they were talking, I don't know, last year or so. That's definitely not happening now. But I just think that everything points to the Royals going downtown, especially with all the momentum that you've been hearing the past 2 or 3 weeks or so. Basically, since the Chiefs announced they were moving to Kansas, it's been this renewed energy, this renewed conversation about the Royals actually being in downtown KC Mo. So you can't call yourself a world-class city with fragmented mobility. A real city connects all the sides, not just downtown to midtown, not just west of Trues. We got to think about the entire city with this thing. And having connectivity right there on Woodland by Parade Park to connect that to downtown and make things just a little easier for people, make things more accessible for people, it could propel Kansas City up to a whole other level, especially after this city is going to get showcased on the World Cup this summer. Make it last. Make it last forever. Don't let I love me. And I'm sure all of you know the words. A couple of weeks ago, I had the blessing of an opportunity to attend the NAMM conference, which is the National Association of Music Merchants, the industry's largest stage uniting the global music, sound, and entertainment technology communities. And that's exactly what it was. I met so many people from so many different countries and cities that came to the thing that unites us all, which is music and sound. So it was a great experience. And within that experience, I got to go to a showcase of Teddy Riley, legendary R&B, hip hop, new jack swing producer from the mainly late 80s, 90s, some 2000s. He could do it all. Whatever you wanted. You wanted a top R&B hit, he could get you with that. Look at Bobby Brown, look at Keith Sweat. You wanted a hip hop smash, he got you. Go look at the show with Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. You wanted some slow jams, go listen to Guy, go listen to Blackstreet. He could do it all, bro. And for a time period, I want to say from, because it was some heavy competition that he was going against. Like, if you think about the other producers in music that Teddy Riley was going against, he's going against Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis in their heyday. He was going, and not really against, but these are his contemporaries. L.A. Reid and Babyface. They were in their heyday when Teddy Riley was in his heyday. Those guys alone, just think about all of the hits that those three different producing teams have made from like 87 all the way up to, like, let's just say 93, 94.
Damn.
Teddy Riley was that man back then. And I'm gonna tell you one reason why he might have stood out above the rest in that time period alone. Because when Michael Jackson in 1988, 89 or whatever, when he was done with Bad and he wanted to leave Quincy Jones, because that was the third album he had done with Quincy, Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad. Who was the first producer who he called up? It was Teddy Riley.